A young man walks up and he says sciences, and she looks at his sheet and proceeds to berate him in front of all of us that he was too thick. Did he not see his own grades? How could he possibly hope to have a future in the sciences?
Oh my God.
Art it was for him, and she didn't want to hear a word, and he walks off.
Do you think there was a gap in the way we grew up, especially in schools? Because there was that mentality, there was that consciousness that if you're not doing science, if you're not doing anything that has to do with biology or physics, you're not a smart person.
Yes, we're all leaning towards sciences, and I think some other people some people who probably had maybe not too decent grades but really wanted to give sciences a go were terrified.
Paul Utomi. Today, we will be sitting with a man who wore many hats before he found his calling. Sports writer, television presenter, and now one of Nollywood's most compelling actor-directors. He made his acting debut in the TV series Tarima, co-produced the award-winning thriller What Lies Within, which took home Best Feature Film and Best Overall Picture at the Abuja International Zuma Film Festival. He has gone on to direct multiple feature films, including Country Hard and The Reckoner. He is proof that purpose finds you when you are brave enough to follow it. Welcome with me, Paul Utomi.
Growing with grace. Growing with grace. Growing with grace. We rise together.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you.
I know it was a roller coaster.
It kind of was. I apologize.
How's the schedule?
We are trying to make it work.
Well, I can imagine with the podcast and the movie roles, and I think you're on fire these days.
I'm trying to be on fire. It's not easy, but we are thankful.
Well, how is that like?
A lot of ups and downs. Sometimes it can be topsy-turvy. But all in all, we are quietly optimistic, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you always want to do this, be an actor?
The more I think about it, I would say unconsciously or subconsciously, I probably always did. I just didn't know it at the time. But I grew up watching all sorts of film and television shows. I would rewatch Back to the Future,
Nice.
Hang 'em High, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, every single Indiana Jones movie.
Ooh, I love
watch,
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, so even in secondary school, I would know the lines in films. I would be saying it along with the actors. I would just know every eyebrow arc, every shoulder drop. I could recite whole scenes.
What was your favorite movie of all time when you were younger?
When I was younger, there wasn't one. There were so many that just gave me a lot of hope for humanity and life and color. So I would probably be doing a disservice to my younger self to pick just one. There were so many great films. From Sound of Music to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I love Sound of Music. I keep watching. I mean, I've watched it twice this year.
Yes.
Even as an adult, I have to go back to it. You know, there are some movies that just bring very good memories. And every day you wake up, something would just click. Maybe you see something on your way to work and you're like, oh, this reminds me of this movie.
Yes.
And then you have to go back to it. So what you said in school, you used to, speak phrase, some of the phrases in the movies you would recite and all. Did you have a drama?
Yes, there was a drama club.
Okay.
I can't remember now, but I think there was a drama club which I was part of. And I think if it was a poetry club or whether it was part of the drama club, so I got the chance on several occasions to recite poems in front of the entire school.
Okay.
And sometimes they were visiting schools.
And we have competitions.
Yeah, so those things used to fill me with a certain rush.
Yeah.
You'd be
Yeah.
afraid and excited at the same time. And I did all of that. Then I went to university where my father this thing asked that I study economics. And,
Wait, did
Yeah.
your father know that you're in the drama club?
Yes, he
Did
did.
he know you love movies?
I think he felt I had a knack for academia. And he probably was like, you know what, if you can do this, you can probably do this, and this might be the way to go.
But how did you switch? So I know when you're in school,
Yeah.
they will say you're either a science student or
Yes.
you're an art student.
Yeah.
And there's that saying that the
Yeah.
science students are the smartest.
Yeah.
So some of us were bullied into, I mean, not really bullied,
Yeah.
like peer pressure.
Yeah.
Because you don't want someone to think that you're
Yeah.
not smart enough.
Yeah.
You love art. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm one of
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
I actually have always loved art.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to study law.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
But I went to science. I became a science student,
Okay.
being all the physics, chemistry,
Yes,
and everything
biology,
that had nothing to do with my
geography.
dream.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, in secondary school, how were you able to?
Okay, so what happened is this, and this is funny because when I think about it, I'm like, how did they let that happen? I think we all in SS1, all the students took about 11 courses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
My memory doesn't serve me. If it doesn't serve me correctly. but
11 or 13.
11 or 13, because
Yeah.
what they asked us to do was take physics, chemistry, biology.
Yeah.
I think
And then
I think
maths.
geography was elective. I'm not
geography.
sure. but
Introductory,
technology. So yes, we
technology, yeah.
took all of that in SS1. We did all of that. So almost every student, in fact, every student in SS1, I won't name the school that I was in, took all these courses. We took
Yeah.
that. We took government. I think we took history. I
Yeah.
think literature was elective, if I'm not mistaken. But stop. So we did all those courses, and at the end of the first semester, they gathered all of us into one classroom. And the guidance counselor, who had everybody's stat sheet, and by stat sheet I mean your results and your performance across the board, sat in front of the class and alphabetically called, when I say alphabetically, I mean your surname, alphabetically called every student forward. And she would look at her sheet and ask you, sciences or arts? Or I think those are the
Yeah,
two.
science or
Like,
arts.
there
Yeah,
was
it's
nothing in
either
between.
science
So, yeah,
or arts,
sciences or
yeah.
arts. And I think the first few students went up and said, oh, I'd rather do arts or sciences. And she'd look at their sheets, go, okay. And then a young man walks up and he says sciences. And she looks at his sheet and proceeds to berate him in front of all of us that he was too thick. Did he not see his own grades? How could he possibly hope to have a future in the sciences?
Oh my God.
Arts it was for him. And she didn't want to hear a word. And he walks off. And that set the tone in the room. So everybody was walking forward, and kids with good grades in biology, physics, chemistry were all leaning towards sciences. And I think some other people were terrified. Some people who probably had maybe not too decent grades, but really wanted to give sciences a go, were terrified. And they were probably, I guess, I can't speak to what people were thinking, but I mean, we're all kids, so I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And I didn't do too badly in the sciences in SS1. That was fair, you know. So when I walked up to her towards the end, because my surname started a U, towards the end, I walk up and she looks at my sheets and she was like, sciences. She basically kind of thought she knew where I was going.
Yeah.
And she was like, sciences or arts? And I go, arts. And she looks at me, looks at my sheet again, looks at me, wants to say something, looks at and goes, okay. Because I felt she wanted to say.
She wanted to say, are you sure you don't want to do
because you want to waste your life or something, because you're doing pretty decently at physics and chemistry. But she was like, okay. And I walked off. And I think a few weeks later, my dad comes to school and he'd heard what happened, and he basically insists that I take, I think, further maths and one or two other courses electively. Just add this to your workload and let's see what happens, because why do you just want to read Shakespeare?
So you know, for me, I'm like, that I see a lot of people in the creative industry,
Yeah.
and when you trace it back,
Yeah.
they actually did not study what they are currently doing.
This is true.
You see someone that studied political science
Yeah.
is now a fashion designer.
Yes.
So do you think there was a gap
Yeah.
in the way we grew up, especially in schools,
Yeah.
because there was that mentality, there was that consciousness that if you're not doing science,
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything that has to do with biology or
Yeah.
physics, you're not a smart person.
Yes.
So
I think
probably
unconsciously that
it
existed.
pushed people
Yeah.
that actually wanted to be in the creative industry, because
Yeah.
I mean it wasn't a big deal
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
So, and then do you think parents played a role in this?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Parents did
How
play a
so?
role. Again, society was a lot different back then.
Yeah.
Their understanding of the way things were going to turn out was rooted in what they had seen or what had come before. Nobody knew the world was going to change quite like it has
Yeah.
over the last 20 or 30 years. The truth is, when we were growing up, nobody knew that you could become a billionaire several times over competing in certain sporting endeavors, if you want to be honest.
I agree.
The world has changed. They didn't see this change coming. What they knew was what they were operating on. And what they knew was, for you to have a steady life, the academia, the sciences, if you're an engineer, if you're this, if you're that, maybe, just maybe, you're not going to be destitute. You're not going to be a bum. You're not going to be a burden.
I really wish it was different, but
society.
I totally agree with
Yes.
you. I wish it was different, because I think if it was someone like me, I probably would be in Nollywood,
This is
because
true.
I would admire it, and I used to stand in front of the mirror
Yeah.
to rehearse lines. And I grew up watching Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
And then, our movie industry started growing, and I
Yeah.
saw Stephanie Okereke, I saw Genevieve Naji.
Yeah.
I would watch Liz Benson, and I would just be like, oh, I wish I can act.
Yeah.
And then there were places where Liz Benson would probably play a mother to a child. I'm like, oh, I can be her child in this movie.
Yeah.
And then there's a particular movie, I can't seem to recall the name, that Genevieve acted.
Yeah.
And they brought a younger version of her
Yeah.
that looked so much like her.
Okay.
And I was like, they got this casting so right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I could have, maybe would, So I feel like for me, parents also played a role,
Yeah.
because some of the things you do,
Yeah.
you do most of them at home,
Yeah.
rehearsing and looking at the mirror and trying to think of what I would be
Yeah.
in the future. If parents, they didn't know better.
Yeah. They knew what they knew.
Yeah.
And they weren't necessarily at that point in time trying to negate or stifle their children's or their offspring's talents.
Yeah.
They thought they were doing what was best.
Yes,
And,
exactly,
yeah.
at the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grace, growing with grace, growing with grace, we rise together.
So let's talk about you a bit.
Yeah.
How did acting come along? Because I know you did not study theater.
No.
Okay.
I studied economics, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
What happened was I was at home waiting for the perfect job, and that wasn't forthcoming. And then a friend of mine saw an ad placement. A media company was looking for a sports writer. And he was like, Paul, you like to talk sports. You watch football, you watch basketball. You could spend hours talking about these things. Maybe apply for this job. And after a bit of persuasion, because I was initially like, no, I'm not. I don't think this is for me. He's like, just apply. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? If they take you and you work there for a bit, if it's not for you,
Yeah.
you leave. And I applied for the job. Long story short, I eventually got called to start work. I started writing for the publication, which at the time was called The Game. It was a football-based newspaper. So every week I would write columns, breaking down football matches, statistics, what I expected to happen the next week when teams squared off. And the company was also into live sporting events. and they used to, they were partnering with Lagos State and I think a certain bank at that point in time.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make a documentary on a particular football tournament.
Yeah.
So we shot everything, did all of that, and we were putting together the script and everything. And then one day, the presenter for a show that we were doing for the NTA called to say he wasn't coming. And they turned to me and they go, Paul, you're going to present this week's edition of the show. And I go on camera. I was sweating. I was nervous. I think we did like 200 takes. And eventually we got it in the can. And they're telling me all through, just relax. The camera isn't going to, it's not going to literally shoot you. You know, it just relax. The camera loves you.
Yeah.
And we promise we're not going to use any bad takes or anything. And he didn't. So when I watched the final result, I was like, oh, okay, I look like I know what I'm doing. Why? So I'm laughing in the scene, like, because anybody watching this won't know I made countless mistakes and everything. And then the next week, they're like, you're doing it again. And the week after that, you're doing it again. And then you're doing it again. And I began to fall in love with presenting. And then they needed a voiceover artist for the documentary we were working on. And they were like, we don't have money to pay a professional voice artist. Let's find someone in-house to do it. And he turned to me and go, Paul, you have a not too shabby voice. And I'm like, really? Like, yes, so you're going to do the voiceover. And we did several recordings, and I believe we kind of got it right because they used it.
Oh, wow.
And they just take over. And I'm in a bank hall, and I run into someone who went to school with me. And then she's like, what are you doing now? I'm like, oh, I'm working here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. She's looking at me. She's like, I think you should come to my office. I'm like, where is your office? So I work for an ad agency, and I think you could be a model. And I'm like, get out of here. She's like, no, Paul, I'm serious. You should model. And I'm like, you're joking. I can't model. Look at me. She's like, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You should model. I'm like, okay, fine. I go to her office, and they introduced me to a modeling agency, Hues and Shades, at the time.
I know Hues and Shades.
So I go to Hues and Shades office. They look at me, and they're like, okay, you can join our rank of models. And that's how I started modeling. And then I got into radio dramas. And I was recording a radio drama one day, and this gentleman looks at me and goes, I think you should try acting. I'm like, again, get out of here. I can't. Look at me. I'm not an actor. It's just like, no, I think you should give acting a go. And then he invited me to an audition. And the only reason I went to this audition, honestly, was because I thought he was going to be one of the judges at the venue. And he lied to me. I go to this venue. I see like 4 million, maybe like 4,000 other young men and women. And I began to realize, boy, you're not the only good-looking person. Yes. There's so many good-looking boys and girls. And I'm looking at, some of them are my friends today. So I'm looking at all these people, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people. And they're all talking to each other. And I sit there, and this lady walks up to me. And she says, oh, hi, how are you? Are you here for the show? I'm like, yes, so write your name. I write my name and everything. And I'm waiting. And then they're like, okay, we need to pair people up. And they pair me with a lady. I'd never said a word to this person. And they're like, okay, people should rehearse boyfriend and girlfriend together. And we rehearse, we look at the script. And then we're rehearsing. And she said, have you done this before? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, you're not bad. And I'm like, thank you for being polite, because you're just being polite. That's what I'm saying in my mind. You're just being polite. And then we rehearse, we go in, we do our audition, we wait till the end. They come out, they tell us they'll get back to all of us. This was around like maybe 6:30 in the evening. So we all begin to make our way out. And I'm telling myself, yes, I will never do this again. And as I'm leaving the venue, the lady I auditioned with walked up to me and says, oh, can I have your number? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I give her my number. She's like, are you coming for the audition tomorrow? And I chose at that moment to lie. I was like, oh, yeah. She's like, are you sure? That you know it? I'm like, I don't know where it is. She's like, okay, she'll send me the address. And I'm like, okay, thank you. In my mind, I'm not coming. I'm not seeing any of you. Why would I come and stand under the sun?
For 6 hours.
For 6 hours to be told, thank you for coming. what happened to my life? so, so I go home. I wake up around like 6:30 ish. I think in the morning, and I'm lying in bed, looking at my phone. I think I was reading a book or something, and then my phone beeps. It's a message. I look at the number. Oh, it's that lady. And she's like, "Did you get the address? This is where it's happening."
She was so interested in having you there.
And I look and I didn't respond because I'm like, okay, it's early. I could probably skate by a couple of hours without responding. Next thing, my phone starts to ring. It's this lady. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick because I'm not a rude person. So I pick. She's like, okay, where are you? I'm about to write your name. And I hear that, and for some reason, it tugs at my heart. I'm like, oh, I'm on my way. I'm just getting ready. I'm leaving the house right now because I couldn't bring myself to disappoint this complete stranger who was looking out for me. And I'm coming, and I made up my mind. I'm going to go because of this person. This person is going out of her way to write my name down. She wants me to come, and I attend the audition. Her name is Judith Audufort, by the way. Yeah, so I go, I attend the audition, and I meet one or two other people, and they're like, "Oh, do you have a BlackBerry phone?" And at that point, I was using Nokia. I'm like, "No, you should try and get one because there are these groups, there's this, there's that. You get audition notices." I'm like, "Okay, I'll work towards that." And they kept sending me audition notices. And I would turn up to these auditions for like months. I would go, I would meet these young men and women. I started forming a relationship with some of them. Okay, I like this person. And I would go to these auditions and they would tell us, "Thank you for coming. We'll get back to you." They never did. I think I went to auditions for like maybe 6, 7, 8 months before I got my first call back. Yeah. But I just kept going. I kept going. I kept falling in love with the process. And the rest, they say, is history.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I've known you for a long time, and I know that the journey wasn't always easy.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
I know those moments
Yes.
when
Yeah.
you were disappointed.
Yes.
So what was the turnaround?
I don't know that there was ever a turnaround.
Okay.
Life just kept happening. I think sometimes we as people can get caught up in what we think the eventual destination would be and not just enjoy the journey. Because there is never one, for most people, there is never one defining moment.
Yeah.
There are little moments every day, decisions we make that add up and compound.
Yeah.
Things that happen, things that go this way or go that way, that lead you down this path or lead you down that path. And I think that's what has happened in my lifetime and in my career, where I do this project, it leads to this project, it has led to that project. There have been setbacks, there have been steps forward, and I'm here today.
Yes, you're here today, and I'm glad that you're here today.
I implore you to join us by subscribing to all our social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and join us to have this conversation.
Growing with grace, growing with grace.
Okay. So I want us to look a bit at Nollywood.
Yeah.
Right. I know that Nollywood is one of the biggest film industries in the world.
This is true.
Yes, very true. But something I noticed, and I think it relates to the conversation we're having today.
Yeah.
While growing up, right, you have child actors,
Yes.
and it looks like for every generation of Nollywood film actors, there's one or two child actors that everybody knows. I think there was a time that it was William Zuchemba that was the child actor.
Yes.
And then we had a lady, I think her name was Sharon,
Okay.
who was actually quite popular at the time as a child actor. And now we have Darasimi, we have what's that boy's name?
Yes.
So do you think that we have, I mean, I feel like the industry is lacking child actors. I feel like child actors are not being groomed enough. We don't have a lot of them. So we'll see one face for 6, 7, 10 years until they become an adult.
Yes.
And then we see another person.
Yeah.
What can the industry do to change that?
Well, we could write a lot more or create a lot more family-centric or child-friendly content. That is true. Some people are trying to do that, and big ups to them. But yeah, I think when you have a space where a lot of the contents may not necessarily be tailored or suited to, or the narratives are for an adult audience, the chances are the roles for child actors are very limited.
Yeah.
But it is changing. I'm seeing a lot of family-oriented and child-friendly content coming out from Nollywood, and hopefully it will create more opportunities, and there'll be a lot more children.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a friend in Canada.
Yes.
Whose child, I think the boy is about 3 years.
Yeah.
And has a scholarship to go learn film,
Yes.
like acting
Yes.
in Hollywood.
Yes.
So the boy is going to leave Canada for Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah. At 4.
Yeah.
So he's carrying his parents all the way from Canada to. So I'm like, we don't have such opportunities. I know that we have drama clubs in school.
Yes, we do.
We have all those things,
Yeah.
but I mean, we do not really have stuff that if you're parents and you can see that your child can act.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see
Yes.
this child can
Yeah.
act. Let me
Yeah.
see how I can.
Yeah.
Why? Why is somebody not thinking that way? I mean, I know there was a time we have a film industry. I don't know if it's a film academy. Do we still have a film academy?
Yes, there are several film academies.
Okay.
The truth is this: a lot of individuals and private entities are doing what they can. I have seen some of my colleagues start initiatives to help train the next generation of child actors or child superstars.
Okay.
I have seen a few international brands get involved. It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
It might take a little while for the results to become very evident, but the work is in progress and people are trying what they can.
Do you think we can also collaborate with schools?
Yes. Some of that is happening. I don't want to be specific, but I do know people and entities and private people and individuals who offer certain services to schools, where they go into those schools, have run the drama clubs, put on shows, put on entertainment-based competition between several schools, and these things are beginning to gain momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
If I have a teenage child that I want to go into acting,
Yes.
how do I get that to happen? And I'm speaking on behalf of parents who actually have kids, those few parents that can see, oh, my child can act.
Yes.
So, but what do I do? Because I know it's not easy to just call up a producer and say, oh, if you have a movie, I have a child that wants. So, what's the procedure? What's the process?
I would say the easiest process is this: the internet is your friend. If you go online, you might see that there are quite a few schools or child actor academies or academies that accept children to come in and learn the craft. Also, you would see maybe quite a handful of audition notices or boards or audition groups that the parents can decide to join. And then when there are postings about opportunities for children to audition for roles, they can decide, oh, I think my child or my children might be able to apply and audition for these roles and give it a go. Yeah.
Okay. So we're just speaking about the movie industry now. I'd like for us to move away from it a little bit.
Yeah.
In schools, we have career day.
Yes, we do.
Yes, I'm always excited to see career day. They still do have career day.
Yeah.
But then parents always dress their children as doctors, engineers, and what do you think about that?
How do you? Let me ask this question. It's a joke, but how do you dress a child up as an actor?
I don't know. Maybe let's see play a role as Babalawo or something.
Something, I guess. But yes. Again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Sometimes we tend to lean heavily on what we know and what is familiar.
Yeah.
If I'm a doctor or I work in the medical field and I know that, it hasn't been bad to me, there's a chance that I might consciously or unconsciously advise my kids or
to go the same.
kids who look up to me to consider giving this field or this industry.
Do you think that might also be from the way we grew up?
Yes.
Because I know when we're growing up, our parents always say, doctor, lawyer. I mean, your father said you have to go and study economy.
Yes.
Why?
Well, maths, actually.
What did you want you to become, actually?
I think nobody, again, the world changed so drastically in the last 20 years. Nobody saw all of this happening.
Yeah.
Nobody did. But so they were operating from a place of what they knew, what he thought he knew
Yeah.
about life. And he wasn't even completely off the mark. It's just that he felt, oh, if you have this in your bag, your chances of success at life are probably much greater than you
Yeah, I
having a
think it was
degree
that
in
fear
theatre and
of what
arts.
if you
Yes.
become,
Yes.
if you go into the arts
Yes.
industry, what are you going to be doing?
Yes.
I remember in
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
back in school, we'll have theatre art students
Yeah.
who will rehearse all night in the university,
Yes.
you know, and they'll play, they'll dance
Yeah.
and all. And then after that, you see law students
Yes.
with their
Yes. Because
black
also
and white,
Yes.
looking very good.
Yes, because also there's something that we have to be fair and clear
Yeah.
about. To get into acting or most fields in entertainment is relatively easy, meaning anyone can walk in off the street and claim to be a musician, a singer, an actor. And this is no disrespect or shade to anyone, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And our parents see this and go, well, if anyone can do this and you don't necessarily need a degree to do this, how about get a degree in something else? Something that might give you other opportunities.
Okay.
Then you have that in the bag. If you want to explore this, have at it.
Yeah.
So there was a bit of that also going on. Oh, if you have this degree in medicine, in engineering and this, if
can
this
always
doesn't
do-
work, you can always fall back to this. But if you
Yeah.
have a degree in certain artistic
then
fields
you
and
did
it
not
doesn't
blow.
work, then wow.
So I
You're gonna
I
be-
see
you're gonna be
that.
homeless?
Yeah. I think that's a better perspective if you ask me.
Yes.
It's best for you to, I mean, I know let's say Nze, she
Yeah.
used to work in the oil and gas industry, even Scarlett Gomez.
Yes.
And these people, they had the opportunity. So it wasn't like if you grow up and you're not acting, there's a
Yeah.
problem for you.
Yes.
So it means that if acting doesn't work,
Yeah.
something else will work.
Yes, that's what they were. But the truth
And
is
I
this.
think that's what our parents
Yes.
were protecting us from.
Yes, and the truth is this. Let's tell ourselves the truth here. Parents love their kids.
Yeah.
And the parents are, of course, overly cautious and protective.
Yeah.
And it's one thing we have to be clear about. They look at some of these fields and think, oh, for you to really make it and have a life worth considering whole in this endeavor, you need to succeed, really succeed at
Yeah.
it. And since the barrier for entry is really low, you're going to be competing with hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions
Yeah.
of other people.
Yeah.
The chances for success are slim. So how about you do this other course and you follow this safe-ish career path and find success
Okay.
than rolling the dice trying to become a superstar musician and maybe after 5 or 6 years things don't turn out how you had hoped and you're back on your parents' couch or not able to pay rent and nobody wants that for their kids.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Growing with grace. Growing with grace. We rise together.
I think what most parents never want to have to tell their kids is that they think their kids may not be good enough at something. So yes, that's probably plays a part.
So how do we help? Like, what do we say to parents now? What's that one advice so parents don't miss out on their
Yes.
creativity?
Yeah.
And let me show you an example. Champ,
Okay.
that's Biscuit's child.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So imagine, I'm thinking that the mother probably paid a lot of attention
Yeah.
to say, oh, he can't do this.
Okay.
And it's not taking away the fact that he has to go to school.
Yes.
And I think that's where parental guidance comes in. So what do we tell parents so that they don't subdue their children's creativity and then they have to find out later in life?
Well, I think we already know those lines. I used to sing it and then because they are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's basically pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. So one last question.
Yeah.
The Nollywood industry.
Yeah.
Is there hope that we're going to have a standard structured movie academy anytime soon. And I'm not talking about the one that individually
on a
people.
national level?
Yeah, I mean, I know there are a few people. We have Real Arts Academy.
Yeah.
We have all. I mean, everybody is trying
Yes.
to do something on their own.
Yes.
Is there hope that there's going to be maybe the body, maybe the Actors Guild
yeah.
can, maybe put together
Yes.
some. I mean, I feel like Nollywood is due for
the
that.
Actors Guild might be able to help in that regard. But,
Okay.
The truth is this: for anything to really find success or have a long-lasting success, I think private entities have to be involved in our current economy. And people are working. People are looking to plug these holes. I don't know the timeline, but yeah, work is being
People
done.
are-
And I think hopefully sometime soon.
I can't wait to see it.
yeah,
I can't wait. I feel like I will have a
academies.
child that will act.
You probably would.
Because we're going to be so dramatic in the house.
Yes,
So.
yes. I think this is. I look forward to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go, Paul,
Yeah.
I always like to ask you
Yeah.
to give a message to the teenagers who
Yeah.
are our core audience.
Yeah.
We're trying to sensitize
Yeah.
and ensure that these teenagers are not taking it out on their parents when the
Yeah.
parents are simply trying to raise them well.
Yes.
So what do you have to say to a teenager out there who believes that they have that creativity inside of them,
Yeah.
who feels like they can do just more than going to school and reading,
Yeah.
but the parents are not really seeing it that way?
Yeah.
What do you want to advise that child to handle? How do you want him to handle it?
Okay. It's okay to feel how you feel. Because you're young. We all feel how we feel, and some of us are much older. Emotions are fine. Having a belief in yourself and your abilities is not inherently wrong. That is perfectly normal. Finding an adequate way to channel those beliefs, your enthusiasm, your drive, your energy is what is required. I would say, if you want to be a singer, a musician, a footballer, a basketballer, an athlete, if you want to study medicine, economics, engineering, you want to be a programmer, and you feel your parents or your elders don't necessarily see what you see, that's fine. Try to communicate. Be patient with your parents and your loved ones. And I hope they are also patient and understanding with you. Practice. Do the best you can when you can. Research, learn, practice again. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fall short. It's okay to learn, unlearn, relearn. Just keep doing the very best you can. And it's okay to pivot. You can want to be a musician today, or an athlete today, or a doctor today, and change your mind a few years from now. That is not the end of the world. That is not the end of time. It is okay to grow and evolve. But in all things, be true to yourself. Always do the best you can, and always try to do it with a positive attitude. And listen to people who have done stuff you want to do. Listen to your parents. And hopefully your parents and your elders and our forebears will listen to us.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you came along.
Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us with your
Thank
presence,
you.
and thank you for fitting us into your tight schedule.
Thank you.
We are really grateful.
Yes.
So, and thank you to everyone that is watching. I hope that we were able to give you some messages that you will take home. For our teenagers, remember to give yourself grace to grow, and also remember to give your parents the grace to bring you up in the way that they believe is right, because trust me, they know better than you. I'll see you again next time, and don't forget to like this video, share, and then invite other audiences to enjoy what you are also enjoying. Thank you.
Thank you.